You just got fired from your job. Congratulations! The truth is I know that sucks, but the truth is that it's often the best thing that ever happened to you. So right now, what we're seeing in the economy is that companies are consolidating. Even in the coaching industry, people are jumping in with each other and creating bigger companies. Like a lot of the smaller companies are creating bigger companies. And the big companies are consolidating, which means that, unfortunately, the workload for employees is often going up versus going down. So I pretty much know that if you got fired, there was probably a good reason why you got fired, because your heart might not have been in this job for quite some time. You might have been really feeling a calling to go do something else. And, I always find like I'm really huge as far as into scripture, and I believe in God, but I also know that a lot of people believe in the universe. And if we want to just say that the universe tends to give us whatever it is that we're thinking about, let's just say congratulations. So sometimes the biggest breakdowns end up being the biggest breakthroughs. So what do you do now? Let me support you. So you have a choice. You can go get another job, 110%, but you don't secure your future by making that choice unless you really are an entrepreneur. So if you're an entrepreneur, that means that you grab a hold of your job and you run it like an entrepreneur. If you do that and you really love corporate America, I think you should go after that and become a linchpin in a company, which means that, so for instance, sales is a place you can always become a linchpin. Supporting top key individuals inside the company as far as anything to do with executive support can be a linchpin, meaning that you hold so much of the information that they actually can't get rid of you, and they don't want to get rid of you because it would be more of a pain to get rid of you than to actually, you get it. You get what I'm saying. So you can go down that route. That's not the route I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to talk about the route of what if the door for entrepreneurship just opened? What if it just opened? And you can feel the tug when it's like, you've been thinking about starting something, you've been thinking about, doing something, but maybe you don't know what it is. So the thing that I often find is you don't know what would you sell or how to do it. So let me talk to you about that today. So first and foremost, when you were a child, there was something that you were known for. There was something that you did over and over and over again. For me, what I did was I always gave advice. I'm a business coach now, and I gave advice for everything. But the thing I geeked out about is what should you do in college? What should you do in university? What should you do for a living? I always geeked out on paying attention to my dad, who was in the skincare industry. How does he put together deals? I like to sit in on the board meetings. I was naturally attracted to that. And now I'm a business coach. What was it that you were naturally great at as a kid? And you need to start putting together some of the dots on this. Here's another question that might help you. If you did it for a living, what would fire you up? This question often rocks people. There was a guy that was a real estate investor and bought buildings, and I met him in Toronto. And, when I asked him, what would be the one thing that if you did it for a living, it'd just light you up? And he's like, I think it'd be real estate. And I go, okay, so what's the one thing you think you're really good at? Arguably, just outside the box, anything, personal, business, what's the one thing you're really good at? He goes, I am a really good dad. And he just lit up. And I was like, why don't you create a business around that? And he was like, and literally he went off and created a business around that. He's currently creating a business around that. So that type of stuff excites me, because you have an opportunity to take something that you are already really good at, and that's really the only prerequisite around making money and growing a business. So you can monetize anything, and it's better to monetize something that is already you, something you're already super good at. So you don't have to choose a topic that you think will make money. In fact, what will make money is the thing you're so good at that we want to actually figure out what's the audience now that we can actually serve. So this is your audience. I think of it as a list, a buyer's list. So there's you naturally being you, like the guy who said, I'm a phenomenal dad. He's like, I'm the best dad you could ever imagine. And when he started to allow himself to go there, he started telling me about how many ways, the different ways that dads actually screw up being dads. They don't listen to their kids anymore. They're not present with their children. He started to light up, and when he started to light up, I was like, here's the money, baby. So what do you have to do at that point? You have to actually develop the buyer's list. So now for him, the buyer's list is actually probably moms and dads. because women often influence the male in the house, and the men that are actually interested in being great dads are going to be interested in his product. So what does he do? So we recommend at this point that our audiences, we teach them how to actually do online shows. Kind of think Oprah, Larry King Live. We teach them to actually do an interview series of online shows because it's the quickest way for you to attract an audience that actually wants what it is that you are great at already. So I'm not going to go into tons of detail on this, but imagine this. Imagine if you could interview 40 people who were around a topic that you're already good at. So for instance, with this guy, he might, interview dad coaches. He might interview parenting coaches. He might interview authors, New York Times authors, or maybe not New York Times authors. If you're a good author and you got great reviews on Amazon, there's probably a really good chance you have a great buyer's list or at least an email list. So we'll go to Amazon, we'll look and we'll see, what are the topics of professionals who have written topics about the thing that you're actually already great at. And the reason why you want to do that is because you want to cross-pollinate their audiences and their followers so that they actually start to follow you. It's a very, very easy process. In fact, if you want more information about it, you can always subscribe to this channel above, which I'll keep giving more content around this. But you can also go ahead and comment below this video and say, hey, I would love more information on this. Can somebody contact me? Or ask me a specific question and I'll go ahead and I'll answer it in one of the upcoming videos. So you become Larry King Live or Oprah. You interview a bunch of people who already have your audience, which in this case for this dad would be dads. So now he has a bunch of new followers who really are buyers that are interested in the topic that he's hosted a show around. At that point, really what you want to do is you want to survey. So this is like what, you know what I mean? What, I don't know if you could see that, but the survey tells you what to offer. The beginning makes you money. It basically puts you in a position that you can make money. If you have no buyers, you're not going to make money. It doesn't matter how great your product, service, or offer is. So many people that struggle financially in entrepreneurship, they don't have a buyer's list. And so they're out there just networking, hoping somebody will refer to them, even doing Facebook Lives or even YouTube videos, and they don't have any sort of following. So it doesn't like move quick enough. You want to get in the money and you want to cash flow a lot quicker so that you don't go into debt trying to grow a business. So you start with you. What is the thing you're already phenomenal at? Then you build a buyer's list around it by interviewing people who have already have that ideal customer or client that you want, have already done like books and things like that on the topic that you actually are great at. Even though you're great at it, you want to keep having conversations with other people who have made a business out of it. Now you have a buyer's list that starts to grow. You survey them and that tells you what. This is a breakdown for a lot of people as well. This is also where the money starts to convert. And what I mean by that is, say you're a makeup artist. I'm talking to somebody right on the other side of this video. So say you're a makeup artist and you're phenomenal. You have some great clients. My makeup artist, Dios, actually, works in Hollywood. She works on the red carpet. She works on me at all my zone events. She's incredible. I don't like anybody else touching my face but her. She's just that good. And even though she's that good and she's got some of these prime clients that hire her, what if she could actually explode to the point where she doesn't have actually the time to be able to do makeup on each person? So now her company starts to grow, right? So she actually does this piece where she knows what she's really good at. When she was a little girl, she drew on all the walls. She was already showing signs that she was going to get into probably making people look pretty, making people look glamorous, amazing. Then she builds a buyer's list, but right now she's got some followers and she's got some key individual clients. But referral is a big piece that grows her company. If she exploded that, and she actually exploded this buyer's list, then what would happen is she would have to survey them, because the truth is that people want to be sold to with certain language. Let me repeat that. There's a conversation we're all having in our head when we buy a product, service, or whatever it is that we purchase. If you don't enter the conversation that your buyer is having inside their head, so for instance, I really want to find my husband. I really want to find my husband. And a dating coach or a dating professional sends out a message like, they're trying to be safe. and cast a net to catch everybody. And they say something like, you know, here's how you can find your life partner. Well, the person saying, I really want to find my husband, I really want to find my husband, is actually not interested in that message. You have to enter in the conversation like, oh, here's how you find your husband. You have to be that spot on for your business to explode. And so when you survey your buyers list, they give you the language that you're looking for. Once they give you the language, this is where the money starts to convert like crazy. It's also where your impact starts to get better. And then you don't have to worry about the job that you just got fired from. You actually will have more business than you need. And then like Dios, my makeup artist, she would be forced to replicate herself, which means she would be forced to find some interns and people like that that are hungry, extraordinary, have lots of talent, and train them up so that they could actually be a valuable resource that she could replace herself, but they're good enough for her to replace herself. Do you get what I'm saying? So they literally start to expand the company so that she keeps working, and so do all these other people start working, or 2, 3, or 5 of them, and now her client base can continue to grow, and her company can make more money, she can give more of it away, she can contribute more, she can do all the things that her heart's calling her to do. So here's my message to you. I'm hoping this isn't confusing. All I'm trying to do is give you a framework. It really is these 3 steps. The 4th step is really making an offer. And you really can't make a great offer without knowing what people want and the conversation they're having in their head. So if you want to stop throwing spaghetti up against the wall or having some good months financially and other ones that are absolutely horrible, you have to learn this formula. And once you learn this formula, making offers, you'll fall in love with it. And so making money is not hard as an entrepreneur, but if you skip this, so say you create the product first, or the signature talk first, or everybody wants to go write a book first. Now, a book's great. It'll help you think through your steps. So I love a book. I make great money with our book. It's great influence, great credibility. But you actually don't need credibility to make a lot of money. You actually don't really need anything else but this process to make a lot of money. And then what you can do after that is, here we go. Then what you can do after that is now you can start adding a book. Now you can start adding a signature talk. I can't spell. A signature talk. Now you can start adding a TED talk. Now you can start growing a Facebook channel if you want, or not, right? Maybe you're not a social person and you don't want to be on Instagram, things like that. Now you can start growing your Instagram channel. You can start growing all these things afterwards, but you have a baseline that takes care of you. You know, my husband always says that I'm really the cash flow coach. And the reason why he says that is because I have bootstrapped my company. I just wanted to make $5,000 a month when I started. Now we're, we just got nominated on Inc. 5000 as fastest growing company in the country. And we're crushing it. And we're going to keep crushing it because we have this foundation of this buyer's list. So no matter what we do, we can spend more time, learning and going through learning curves and maybe even blowing through money with Facebook ads or Instagram ads or whatever. We can hire like Lauren, who helps us with, our social strategy. We can do those things because we're cash rich. And when you're cash rich, Dan Sullivan always says, he owns a company called Strategic Coach. He always says, when you have cash, you don't have a problem. And I really do believe that. There's always a way to solve your problem when you have cash. So this is the strategy to start moving yourself from worry, like I just lost my job, to success. So how do I simplify this? I'll leave you with this. If you can talk on the phone, and you can ask 5 questions, and you can get yourself to do that, then you can do this model. If you can talk on the phone, you can ask 5 questions. You can do this model. It's that easy. So I want to hear from you. Leave a comment below. Tell me what you think, what's coming up for you, and let's get to know each other a little bit better. And hopefully you'll consume some more of my videos where I can help influence your mind and open this up in a way that it becomes super clear for you. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hey guys, it's Shanda. Thanks for watching my videos. Hey, if you haven't watched these videos right here, then go watch them, okay? So subscribe to the channel. I'll see you shortly. I'm like in total content production mode, so I can't wait to show you what's coming next.